good afternoon, night, morning, wherever you are. Welcome to a random episode off schedule of the Random Podcast. This is your host, Melty Scarlet, or Crimson Hermit by others. Uh, and we're going to make this kind of brief. It won't be like a full on segment. Well, actually, it will. I mean, who the hell am I kidding? But basically, we're going with a simple, kind of episode. Uh, so let me start things off. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen online on Reddit and whatnot about the whole Soldier Boy or Souljagame system came out. I just wanted to let everyone know what it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not going to say I know a lot about business. I'm not going to say like I'm like the ultimate authority, but this is like my little 2 cents from working as administrative assistant for years, bookkeeper, helping start a company, doing investments and stuff. Like one of the things that I kind of learned when you start a business is, you know, you won't get far if no one knows who you are. Now the trick to this is when you look at Soldier Boy when he's basically doing a TLDR of the synopsis. Soldier Boy took these Chinese Raspberry Pi machines. I mean, that's basically what the fuck they are. They're like these big fucking plastic things with a small microchip inside of it. That's, I want to say like it could barely run Netflix, but it's good for running like a Super Nintendo tops. But regardless, he just, slapped his name on the brand and he's selling it. And with that being said, uh, he's releasing all these different things. Now, I'm not going to sit there and make this a plug for Soldier Boy. I'm not trying to like jump on the bandwagon, but the one thing I do want to say, the more people pay attention to this, the more infamy it's going to gain. And like I mentioned earlier, with business, if no one knows who you are, you can't get far. People know who Soldier Boy is. I mean, he hasn't been relevant that much nowadays. I mean, I know, you know, uh, he may or may not have been responsible for some choreography. He's not a bad dancer. I can't really say that. With that being said, I mean, come on now, like it's a bit difficult to say this simply, but I feel like this is one giant ploy. Like he's probably like making more money off of all of this publicity, thinking people are gonna like, I'm gonna buy this system, jump on the bandwagon, and I'm gonna review it, give it a bad review, and people will watch my videos. Now, with that being said, uh it's it's the community playing itself. The boy's not dumb. He the boy's not dumb. Let's just put it like that. Soldier Boy is not dumb. He's actually kind of intelligent. I mean, who's to say I know him personally? But I mean, from what he's done so far, he's actually really. He's been playing this. Okay, no, he's been acting like a man child. I'm not gonna lie on Twitter. But then again, he can get away with this. He's gonna delete his tweets. People are gonna like screenshot it and be like, "For real, Soldier Boy, blah blah blah." And the thing is, like, he plans to get into the esports scene later on by like having a team. If everyone knows of him, it's going to be the infamous team. He's going to get sponsorship because he's going to get a lot of attention. He already has his own like following behind him. People are going to watch if he starts a streaming. If people start streaming for him under his label, people are going to pay attention. They're going to pay attention to him for in the sake of berating him because he's bad. It falls down to the logic of don't feed trolls, because the more you feed them, the more you'll get trolled. Now, with that being said, I mean, you can't really, you know, blame him for going about things this way. I mean, yes, what he's doing is insanely illegal. And if he thinks Nintendo, the people that, have a better lawyer team than, I want to say, the UC system or any college board or, any top level hospital in the country. And I say this partially as a joke, but you gotta admit, like Nintendo will take anyone to the fucking cleaners. Uh, they they don't care. They really don't care. You're selling their shit illegally. No, 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 no. You fucked. You uploading videos? Playing Nintendo games? And you're cursing in it? No, no, no. Demonetized. If not, copyright claim. Oh, you're not part of the Nintendo, exclusive program, or what do you call it, content provider or whatever? Demonetized. But it's like Soldier Boy has his own little, hype squad going on. I'm not gonna knock the boy. If I was someone of his standing and I had the opportunity to do it, would I do it? Probably not. But can't blame him for trying. The saying is you can't knock till you try it. But when you get when you a lot. Oh, wait. Let me re-clarify. So people think that Soldier Boy is going to go to jail for that. I'm not going to say I'm a lawyer, but all I see is him going broke. That's the a possible outcome is he gets sued to the point where he loses all his money, or his remaining money, or all the money he made from the sales of the legal system, and he's going to have to get a regular job. And people are going to. But the thing is, people are going to make fun of him, and he's going to turn that into money in itself because, he knows how to run with publicity of any kind, and that's going to turn into another fortune to live off of. He could be a streamer, he could be anything. I mean, he can rap to a degree. I mean, he's not as great as the other rappers out there. Um, I mean, I can't really say Drake's a better rapper than him because don't really like Drake, but a lot of people do. So to each their own, if I mean. But regardless of the fact, it's kind of annoying because like the more YouTube's algorithm, I watch different things throughout the day. Sometimes I watch technology repair clips. Sometimes I watch cooking shows, recipes. I'm a huge fan of Bon Appetit, by the way, huge fan. And what binging with Babish, binging with Babish. I suck at speaking English. But every now and then I do a lot of social commentary. Like I watch Shoe on Head, Armored Skeptic, Sargon Assad, and various videos just to like get a sense of like what am I watching here? What do I want to see? Like what interests me, and what can I learn about the world that today? And this pops up, and I'm like, but what the fuck does this have to do with anything? I mean, what the fuck are you? What's going on, YouTube? What the hell is going on? And then I start getting more and more random videos, and it's just like it's a rabbit hole. It's a fucking rabbit hole. Like right now, I'm clicking on my newsfeed. I get Smash Brothers Ultimate stuff, and I get stuff for like the Lewis, the what's his name, Kevin Hart situation where he had to step down from the Grammys. Okay, let me talk about this real quick. So back in the day, I want to say early 2010, like 8 years ago, back in the day, saying all these homophobic slurs, saying all these things that people will get offended or quote triggered, used to be the norm. It wasn't offensive to the degree, it's how you said the word. And that's the thing about the English language. People like to call it pimp's language because I can say one sentence to you and it can have three different meanings. And that's the versatility of English. Now, with that being said, back then, I mean, I know jokes were a little bit edgier. I know, sexuality was a thing. Like, people were scared of coming out. Some people, and then social justice became prevalent and being politically correct became prevalent, and the skeptic community basically had a firing range into a fishful of barrels because a lot of people were taking ideas that originally had a solid, how do I say this, a solid fucking purpose, like, for example, the Black Lives Matter movement, and they would corrupt them with their poor, limited understanding or their one-track mind, and it would just be demoted into them versus us. It devolved into a them versus us. It's either you're with this movement or you're with the opposition. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, it's not smart. Like, and I say this in really simple terms, and some people may say, like, you don't understand, blah 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 blah. I do understand. I studied sociology for fucking 8 years. 8 years of academic sociology, reading different research studies, reading different news, having conversations with prominent sociologists. Thankful for higher education. That's a win. Wink, wink. But at the same time, come on, like, do you really think being offended over someone, like, using your sexuality as a joke is more offensive than being, I don't know, beat up because you're black, or insulted because you're Hispanic, or, insulted because you're Asian, Pacific Islander, like any other ethnicity? We're all humans here. It doesn't matter if we're born in a different place or not. We're all human. And, like, I know a lot of people will probably give me flack for this, but it's devolved in such a way where, how do I say this in, like, Japanese culture? What is it? Chumbio? 8th grader syndrome, where people think they have fucking magical powers. They're like, I'm the Dark Lord Chuckles, the evil piggy, and I will take over the world. Like, I think the best example of how people are, like, overreacting is, like, Love, Chumbio, and Delusions. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit 8th grade syndrome, I fucking was on Guy Online, I was on Neopets, I was on Zanga, like, I remember the AOL chat rooms for role-playing, all that nonsense, but back then, it was just rampant imagination, that it was childlike innocence that fueled that allowed us. I mean, besides the creepy ass pedophiles aside, I just want to say, like, it's devolved. Like, I kind of feel like I can take some social justice, like, figures seriously, depending on, like, if they're using actual statistics that's not skewed in favor of them. But at the same time, a lot of the issues that are presented are either horribly misconstrued or horribly corrupted and perverted to fit a narrative of them versus us to, make things bad. And going back to the Kevin Hart situation, back then in 2010 or 2009 or wherever the fuck the tweets were given out, making gay jokes was cool. I'm pretty sure if you go back in the day, like, DMX, his early songs, he has homophobic slurs in it, and people still bump that. Like, they're like, oh, well, blah blah. I was listening to a DMX song the other day, and it was just like talking about the homophobic tendencies of certain gang members. I'm not saying this is true, but it shows, like, it's been like that for a while. And while I'm not saying or condoning that it's right, I'm saying, like, it's something to say. It shows a lot when you see, if that's the social norm at the time, and years later, and the paradigm shifts, and things that weren't acceptable back then, things that were acceptable back then become not acceptable. As if you watch Kevin Hart, you see his jokes have, like, evolved over the years to stop including less and less. The man, even though he has a height of 8-year-old, the man has grown as a comic. He's obviously shown a lot of progress, yet he has to step down. And he did the most gangster response. He said, I'm not apologizing for this, because he knows he's grown as a person. And that's all I have to say. And honestly, if you grow as a person, I know nothing on the internet's ever gone. Like anything you post is there forever. But at the same time, like if it was cool back then and it's not cool now, how are you going to be held accountable to it? If that's like saying, I was a horrible bookkeeper back in the day. I used to fuck up all the time on income taxes and whatnot. And, that got found out even though I had like years of experience later. And I did my learning. I got my education and shit. And I improved because I messed up in the beginning where I knew little to nothing. I have to step down from a position. Are you, are you trying to make that the norm? Is that any actor that got drunk? I mean, for fuck's sake, Dave Chappelle has a bunch of jokes. Like he has a joke on man rape. He literally got drunk one time. He got drunk in a Laughing Factor. I want to say it was in L.A. or somewhere. He got up and he did a whole stand-up piece on man rape. And the beauty of it was the fact that it was funny as shit. And and I say this as someone that's been through some shit, and I know it's triggering for some people, and some people might find it distasteful, but at the same time, like, you don't know where he's been. He could have had that happen to him, and that could be his way of, finally finding the strength to come forward and be like, this is how I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to turn into a fucking joke, laugh it off, and move forward and become stronger by it. But the problem is people don't understand that, and they like to pick at problems because they don't like it or whatnot. And all I have to say is you guys gotta grow the fuck up. It's fucking 2018 and it's about to be 2019 in like what, 3 days? Less than that? 2 days? 3 days? Yeah, no, it's 3 days. What the fuck do you expect? How do you expect people to grow? Are you going to hold them to a stereotype? Are you going to stay as keyboard warriors, fucking hunting people down and fucking dragging their life through hell because you don't like one word they said years fucking ago? I hate to say it to you, but life I understand with the social media dominated lifestyle or, society, and, witch hunting is like the easiest thing to do. Are you fucking kidding me? Is that how you're gonna live your fucking life? Like, live your fucking best life. All this fucking bullshit. Like, honestly, I want to say of all the fucking bullshit going on, people should be paying more attention to world news and whatnot. They should be, actually doing shit. But at the same time, it's whatever. You live your life. You have your own preferences. You have your own cup of teas. There's nothing I can do to stop that. Now, what I can do, though, is go back to the original point of the Soldier Boy incident. All I have to say is, the more people pay attention to this, the more, shit they pour into, all you're going to get is a man that, it's going to make it rich again. He could be running low on money and be pulling the shit just to, get some publicity, to get people to listen to his old shit. I mean, the boy had some bangers, and I know some people are saying the people that listen to his music are super uneducated. Bro, I went to college for years. Like, I've had several high-profile jobs. Like, I consider myself, just an average person, but at the same time, like, if the beat slaps, I mean, that's... I mean, would you listen to music because it didn't slap? Whatever. Like that, the subject's dropped. But, as a kind of closing statement, how do I say this? So I just wanted to, shout out certain things in the world. I forgot the name of the damn series. Oh, here it is. So things that are awesome, I want to say, is something called, let's see, what was it called? One title's Instant Death, the other world doesn't stand a chance against the power of death, or so Sokushi cheats ga Sayuki sugete iseki no yatsura ga mare aita ni naria desu ka, which is English, yeah, for that. But it's a great series. It's basically what happens if someone uses common sense logic. Oh yeah, you're powerful as fuck, but I have instant death magic, so fuck your life. But with that being said, this is Melty Scarlet closing out another random podcast. Stay beautiful, stay classy, and don't be fucking Soldier Boy.